Hello, my little droplets. I'm here again with another video. Holy shit, I'm on a roll. I'm surprised I'm doing videos. I'm genuinely am. But today, I'm here with my Kewl deck profile. I've been playing them on the ladder. I've been enjoying them. I also have a few replays that I will show at the end of the video. Hopefully it's not too long. But let's just get right into the deck list. I'm gonna start with the Kewl cards, and then I'll do the non-engine. So first things first, your main starters is 3 Kewl, 3 Reco, and 3 Mix. So basically all the Kewl names are 3 essentially. Tune, when she's normal summon, you can normal summon a tuner from your hand or grave. From your hand, grave, or deck, right? Yeah, hand, deck, or grave. And she's really good. You could do some cheesy strategies like a Trio Rose Whip, but that's more win harder card in my opinion. But she's your best normal summon of the deck in my opinion, because she tutors out Rotary, which goes into your Link 4. Synchro 4. That goes to your Synchro 4, and then it searches 2 cards, and you get to fuck with their top deck. Because when she's used as a synchro material, you can look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Sorry. Look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Banish one of them and place the other one either on top or bottom. So if you're going first, and like you banish, like let's say they reveal like Callby and like a high level monster, you can banish the Callby and keep the high level monster, so it could be a brick. So she's really good. She's your main starter of the deck, and she's a level 3. And I love this deck because the main gimmick of the deck is they're all tuners, which is really fun. Your next best starter, in my opinion, is Reco. Oh, I forgot to mention, all Kewl monsters have this condition effect. It's not an effect, it's a condition. So like, even if it's negated, you can still use it. All Kewl have it in the main deck. Every main deck Kewl has it, and the only one in the extra deck that has it is Trackmaster. But all main deck ones have the following. If this card on the field would be used as a synchro material, you can use a tuner in your hand. You can use a tuner from your hand. So all of them have that, so it's really good. It doesn't start a chain or anything. And even if it's imperm, you can still synchro from your hand. Anyways, but this card is normal summon. You can add a Kewl monster from your graveyard, which is also pretty big, and or deck, except the level 3. So you can't add Q. But most of the time you want to get your Rotary in rotation, and depending on your combo line, you could go into your clip. So sometimes you search your clip, or if you already have Rotary, you search your clip. Then if you already have clip, you search your Rotary. Or your mix, however you want to play your line. Then the other searcher of the deck, same effect on the top. When this card is normal summon, you can add a Kewl monster is at level 2. So you can't add your clip, but you can add your Reco, you can add your Q, or you can add your Rotary. So depending on your hand, you go mix, add Reco effect, normal summon your Q. Speaking of Rotary, she has the same effect as well. Like he's a tuner in your hand. You can reveal this card, and after this effect is resolved, you normal summon a tuner. So you show them a tuner, and you normal summon a tuner immediately after. Then this card is sent to the graveyard. You can place 1 card in your opponent's graveyard to the bottom of the deck. This effect kind of comes up if you stop their Lupus eventually. You could kind of put the Lupus back in the bottom of the graveyard if you so wish. Or like in the mirror matches, you can shuffle some of the names from the graveyard to the bottom of the deck, so Loudness War is kind of worse. But the main effect that you usually do is look at your opponent's hand. I don't know why this is here, but and then once you look at their hand, you add a Kewl spell trap. So I only run 2 of the spells, and I don't run the trap unfortunately. But I run 1 of the field spell. It's an extra normal summon, and then you could tribute a tuner, special summon a Kewl from your deck, or add it to your hand. So you could choose either or. And then the most random effect is each Kewl Loudness War gains 3300 attack while while your opponent has a tuner in their field or graveyard. So that could kind of come up. Most of the time I just special summon in defense and I forget that I get the attack boost. But most of the time you're using it for an extra normal summon, and then if they stop your plays and you open this, you contribute your mix or your Reco. Add your Kewl. Make sure you don't special summon it, because the special summon from the hand deck, special summon a tuner from the hand deck or grave, it's only a normal summon. So you contribute any of these, add it to your hand, and then extra normal summon this, and then combo off more. I always debated putting more of this, but I think one has been fine in my opinion. It's good when I open it, but it doesn't warrant 3 of these in my opinion. And then probably the second best card in the deck in my opinion is the Cool Tune card. You add a Cool Tune Synchro, excuse me. Add 1 Cool Tune card from your deck to your hand, then after this card resolves, you can synchro summon 1 tuner synchro monster. You can special summon this up. The rest of the turn, after this card resolves, so tuners. So you could dodge Imperm, you could dodge Veiler, you could toss, you could dodge a lot of stuff with this card if you wanted to. Or you could just use it as a rota and get your plays going. So for the extra deck main monsters, I could probably go with that last. So that's it for the main deck monsters. Now for the non-engine, you run a little way too much. So the main staples of the deck, obviously Maxi, Ash for the Maxi or the Charmies. I run 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 1 Maxi, 2 Perulia. I've been testing Perulia right now. It was at 40 cards because I wasn't testing Perulia. I was like, let me put in Perulia to see how it feels. And Perulia is really good this format. It shits on the best deck in my opinion. It shits on K9 Vanquishal. They lose really hard to Perulia. They can't really play into it. They can play into Fua pretty easy, but Perulia they can't because they give too many draws. And then 3 Fua, because Fua is Fua, right? And then I'm testing Moonlit Chill. This card has came up so many times, and I actually won games by its burn effect, which is really funny. And it's really fun. Because people forget that they get burned and they're like, oh shit. And sometimes they just die to it, which is really funny. And then 3 Ghost Spell. Ghost Spell is really good this format. Helps against K9 when they try a Lupus on your turn. If you bait out the Ripper, Bell's really good against that. It's good against Draco Tail when they try to Urgla add back. Also really good. Or if they fuck up their chainlinks, you could Bell the Arthalion if they fuck up their chainlink somehow. And then your best hand trap is Veiler, because it's not once per turn, and you can recycle it with one of the extra deck monsters that will go over. And then I only run 1 rabbit. Ghost Ogre is okay this format. It helps against the mirror, and the mirror is really good. But one has been fine for me. I haven't missed it. I haven't been like, oh my god, I need more ogres. One has been perfectly fine. And then that's your non-engine. And the only spell that's a quote-unquote non-engine but gets you into engine is Synchro Overtake. This card's super good because some of your level 5s all have names, so you can special summon your mix or your Reco or your clip. Most of the time it's either Reco or mix to get you into your engine. And then a lot of people, it's a Ash magnet, it's a Bell magnet, it's a Ash magnet. But sometimes people will chain Maxi to this. I'm like, okay, because it's optional to special summon from the deck. From the deck, so you can just add it to your hand. So when they chain Maxi, you're like, okay. On resolution, I would just add it to my hand instead of special summoning it. And then it locks into your synchro monsters, which is not really a restriction for this deck. But this card's really good. So if you already have your main combo, you can just activate Synchro Overtake. It's gonna take a hand trap or bait out something, and then you just do your normal summon combo, and usually they scoop. I was struggling trying to get replays for this. I'm in Master 2 trying to get adequate replays for this video, because most of the time after I beat them, I normal summon and they just scoop, and it's really frustrating. and you're one called by. So that's it for the main deck. 42 cards. You can take out the Perulias if you're not liking them, so it could be a flat 40. But I've been enjoying the Perulias. And now for the extra deck, it ran 2 Cool Tune Track Maker. This card's really good, so you mostly summon Q, summon your Rotary, and you Synchro 4 into this. When this card, if this card in the field will be used as Synchro material, you can use a tuner in your hand. If this card is special summon, you can add a Cool Tune card. It could be a monster, it could be a spell, it could be the trap, but most of the time you add your field spell or your quick play. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard as a Synchro material, you can return a non-target bounce. One card on the field, not just monster, one card. So it could come out. It outs a lot of things. Does not out a Lager Dancer. I would like to point that out. Does not out a Lager Dancer. But this card, you usually end on it with a Cool Tune Synchro, and then on your opponent's turn, you can either pop and bounce or pop an extra deck rip. Because when clip it, oh, bro, this is scuffed. Oh good, because I forgot to go over clip like a dummy because I forget this card exists, even though I use it all. So same thing as always. So during your opponent's main phase, you can Synchro Summon on your opponent's turn, so turn 0 Synchro Summon. So you could do, so clip and mix, make this on your opponent's turn, and then you can do an extra deck rip and a monster pop. Because when this is sent to the graveyard, you can target an opponent's monster you control to destroy it. I forgot to go over the Reco and clip and mix effect. Anyways, I'm doing it now. Fuck it, we roll with this. So yeah, so clip is really good. Synchro summon on your opponent's turn. Then when this is sent to the graveyard as Synchro material, you could banish a face-up random. You could banish one face-up. You could banish face-up one random face-down card from your opponent's extra deck. So it's really RNG based, that's why it doesn't come up too much, but you technically can. And then Reco is a MST when she's sent to the graveyard as a Synchro material. And Mix is a monster pop when she's sent to the graveyard as Synchro material. Forgot to bring that up, but I did now. So the worst one is probably clip, in my opinion. You can probably cut down clip as well. Anyway, back to the extra deck. Like I was saying with this, so like you could Cool Tune Synchro, add clips, Synchro into Loudness War, and then you get an extra deck rip, and you get a non-target bounce, which is really good. Or you could add mix, and if you have Reco in hand, you can go into RS, etc, etc. There's many different lines. You don't have to Synchro Summon with the card that you add. You can Synchro Summon whatever you want, which is really, really cool. And next one, Cool Tune Remix. This card gains 1500 attack if your opponent has a tuner, so any hand trap, if they ash you, it becomes 3k. Then during your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card, choose 2 non-Synchro tuna monsters in your graveyard, add one of them to your hand. If you do special summon the other one, then you can special summon, you can Synchro Summon into a Synchro monster. So this could recycle your hand trap, so if you ash on your turn to stop for Perulia, you could remix, add back ash, special summon Mix, and then Mix or special summon Reco. Then Reco add your clip, and clip could Synchro Summon into your opponent's turn as well. So I usually try to end on Remix and Track Maker with like a Cool Tune Synchro, and that's like a lot of interruptions, which is really, really good. And then the main beat stick of the deck is Cool Tune RS. This gains 300. This gets really big, really, really, really fast. It needs a Reco, so keep that in mind. And Remix needs a mix, Cool Tune Mix, so you have to use them specifically for these ones. Keep that in mind. And then this card, so anyways, back to RS. Gains 300 attack for each tuner in the graveyard. The levels of your opponent's monsters with 1700 or less attack are increased by 1. So shit's on Yummy, which is really funny. Because they become level 2 and they really can't play the game, which is really funny. And then this is your main interruption another interruption as well, because during the main phase quick effect, you can banish a tuner from your graveyard, target one face-up card your opponent controls, negates effects until the end of the turn. So it's any card, So it could be a spell, it could be a trap, it could be a monster. If it's face up, you can negate it. So you can also try to do this on your opponent's turn. I usually try to summon this on my opponent's turn to have an interruption ready after I bait out or like mess with their stuff with my quick play synchros and all that good stuff. And then one crackle. I barely go into this card. I really do. It's pretty decent. So if you know the matchup, you could probably so when this card is synchro summon, you can look at your opponent's extra deck. If you do, banish face up one card from it onto the end phase, and then get this card gains attack equal to that monsters. And then if this synchro summon is sent to the graveyard, synchro summon monster is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card and apply the effects. Look at your opponent's extra deck and banish two cards face up until the end phase. So basically, you can rip the most important combo piece. So if you're against combo, this is really good. Most of the time, they're running multiples, so it's not that good. I barely go into this, but you could do, technically, you can rip 4 from the extra deck. Because, so if you do clip, and you have this on field already, so technically 3, sorry. Or actually, you could Kultun Synchro into this. Banish something, because you can look at it when it's synchro summoned. You activate clip, use this and this to go into like a level 8, and then you get 1 extra deck rip, and you get 2 random extra deck rips from Crackle. But I barely go into this card. Honestly, it's cuttable, but it's just nice to have an option. And then Cool Tune on this war. Other tuners cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Also, your opponent can't target them. Some people forget this effect is a thing and they try to target and then they just rage quit. And it just takes 2 tuners, so it's a level 6. So you can do a track maker and track maker and tune. Sorry. So you go into this. Then when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can banish Cool Tune monster from your graveyard. Apply the banish monster's effect that activates when it's sent to the graveyard. So if they activate something, you can banish Mix to pop a monster, or you can banish Rekko to pop a spell, or you can banish Rotary, look at their hand, add, or place something on the bottom, or you can make it clip and banish something random. This card's fine. It's really good. I like 2 of them. I'm running multiples of 2 each for the mirror match, so random clip won't win automatically. And then I run a Zaylin. I have to use this card monster often, but most of the time I don't go into it. I don't know why. It's like a weird Omni negate, but it's unique in my opinion. This card you control will use as a signatory. You can treat it as a non-tuner. When a card or effect is activated in response to another card or effect activation, basically channeling 3 or higher, you can activate this card, negate the first card effect, and if you do destroy that card, negate the second effect, and if you do destroy that card. So you can choose one or the other. And do not misclick. If you have this on your field, do not misclick. I pray to you, do not misclick. Choose the second effect because chain resolve backwards. I saw somebody do this and I was just like, I'm so glad I didn't do this. If not, I would have raged. So when you're chaining to it, make sure you choose the second effect. And then I run Visa. This is irrelevant. The only thing that's relevant about this card, in my opinion, is the attack boost, and even when it leaves the field, it's a permanent attack boost. So you can pop something, you can pop some monster you control. It gains all synchro monsters all gain 800 attack, which is a pretty sizable buff. And then you can synchro off because it's a tuner. But I was thinking about running Primus, like the Centurion one, because it's more generic, but I think it requires a non-tuner, so I was thinking about that. Then I was like, oh wait, it requires a non-tuner. This is just a card that you can make with tuners. That's the only reason why it's here. 1 Baron. I haven't made it, and I've been playing this deck for a while. It's the only way that you could technically make it is Zaylin into Rekko, or normal summon a hand trap. So like if you have Loudness War, summon a hand trap, make Baron. It doesn't come up often in my opinion. But it's there. It's nice to have for the what if situations, in my opinion. And then Cool Tune back to back, or Cool Tune B2B. The levels of your opponent's monster are increased by 2. Random floodgate to increase the levels. It comes in handy if you're against K9, makes them level 7, which is kind of funny. Your tuners can make, so this is like your OTK card, which is really good. Tuners can make a second attack during each battle phase, including itself. So you can have a big ass Rekko that could attack twice, and this being 32 can attack twice. So it's super game if you have it and they don't have that much on the board. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, target a tuner in your graveyard or banishment, except the level 10 tuner. Add it to your hand or special summon it. So this could add back hand traps, by the way. So if you have a Veiler, they chain something, you can add back Veiler for later in the turn. And you can either special summon it or add it to your hand. And then if you special summon it, you could synchro summon into a synchro monster, which is really good, so you can recycle your stuff and all that good stuff. But I run 2, just again for the run clip banish, so I won't lose my B2B in the mirror match. That's the only reason behind it. You can run 1, and the thing is, you can activate the effect twice per turn, so you can add back 2 hand traps if you want. It doesn't have to synchro summon, so you can just keep adding back the hand traps that you want. And then just the random Typhon. I don't use it, but I like the utility for when it comes up. And that's pretty much it for the deck profile. I had a little bit of scuff, but I'll see you guys on the replays. Bye! Alrighty, and here we go with the first replay. This is the first replay. I'm going second, so I'm like, alright. So my hand's kind of decent in my opinion, but they go normal summon to right. I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't want to activate any hand traps, so I don't want them to do their K9 stuff for free. So I was just like, alright, I'll just let them play, and then just do the interaction on my turn, because I don't want them to like I doing it for free or something like that. So I'm against K9 Vanquishful. Surprise, surprise. So they're just doing their K9 combo, all that good stuff, the lantern. So we could probably fast forward this. Add release. They Nori, look at my hand. They make Nash Knight, I'm like Doki. They rank up into the Masquerade. Into the Masquerade. And then they go into the Jacks. They're trying to outplay my hand. Sit 2 and pass. I'm like, okay. I have to see how the fuck I'm gonna break this board. I was just like thinking ahead of time. So I draw clip. I'm like, it's not the worst. I'm like, sync or overtake. They have my response. I go into clip. I mean, mix effect. They negate. I'm like, sure. I chain call by here, so they can't chain Lupus before I start activating cards in hand. So I get rid of the Lupus here. They discard my clip, which is like probably like the best hit ever. They actually get rid of the Ripper here, which I was surprised, but they go into Werewolf here. I'm like, okay. I'm like, summon Q. They chain to look at my hand. I'm like, okay. So right here, I was like, okay, I could definitely fucking start breaking this board. I summon my Rotary. I go into Track Maker. I go Q1, Rotary 2. And then Track Maker 3. They actually impulse here. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And they chain call by here, unfortunately, on my Rotary. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Annoying, but I can still do this. I was like, I can still kind of do this. I'm like, okay, this is fine then. So I still get a search. I get the field spell here. Rotary gets negated. And then I get to look at the top of their deck. I banish their Raisin and keep Polysuit on top, if I remember correctly. And they pop my Track Maker. I'm like, okay, this sucks, but I'm like, whatever. And they draw discard 1. I go field spell, extra normal summon my Moonlit. I contribute any tuner. I special summon Rekko effect, add back mix. Now synchro summon into RS to start getting beat sticks on board. I pop the Jacks. I beat over the Werewolf. They reset their trap. Their quick play. And then end phase, I get my Q back, and then they lose their theme. They make Typhon here. I'm like, okay, so I don't die. I was like, I definitely don't die. I was like, okay. Bounce my Rico, attack for 29. I'm like, sure. I'll still half HP because of Aspirate. I draw mix. I'm like, this is really good. Extra summon the Q. They ash it. I'm like, sure. I'm like, that's totally fine by me. I know what their set is. I'm like, mix, add rotary. Then I go into track. They draw me. I'm like, that's really fucking annoying. I'm like, sure. I go into remix so I can set up for next. So the reason why I went to remix here is I know their card in hand is Hollyzoo at this point, because I know I kept it on top. And then remix could add back Moonlit Chill, or actually I could just synchro summon on their turn again for either more interruption. I could go into Reco for whatever card they have in hand, and I get mixed here so I can pop the Typhon and just attack for 3k here. And then Q, I get to look at their deck and fuck up their top deck again. They have Mad Love, Talons, and they scoop. I was gonna banish the Mad Love, keep the Talons on top. They can't do anything, so that was game. Alright guys, I'll see you guys on the next replay. Alrighty, and here we are with the next replay. I went second, so I was like, oh, photons. Thankfully for me, I know how to stop this. I know the choke points for this deck. They're like, Galaxy 100, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. They photon jump here, I'm like, okay, they get trance, I'm like, okay, they trance now, I'm like, interesting. They summon, I'm like, sure. They photon here, I'm like, okay, this is a choke point, so I Mourner. And then they chain the prime material, I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. They get the Tachyon, I'm like, sure, that's fine. So I can't really stop that, honestly. So they add their Vanisher, and they add a Vanilla. And this is where the burn comes in. So they're down to 4k. They banish a red. So when this card is, when a Galaxy Photon is special summoned, they can banish a card. Out of all cards, they decided to banish my Crackle. I'm like, but why though? I'm like, sure, dude, more power to you. And the reason why they're down to 4k because they took 2k from the trance and 2k from my Moonlit Chill when they sent it to the graveyard for Photon Dragon. So they're already down to 4k. And all I have to deal with is one monster negate. But this hand, I can definitely play through the one monster negate. And they pass, I'm like, sure. And I draw Mexi, so I'm good. And I have to keep in mind that I can destroy this by card effects because they have the Photon Dragon under it. So I gotta keep that in mind. So when this card has a Photon card, I can destroy it by card effects. So I have to keep that in mind. I'm like, okay. I was like, no more Reco. They negate it. I'm like, sure. Because I was about to Ghost Ogre, but I was just like, okay. I was like, nah, I'll rather just wait. Because it can be destroyed. They had Photon, Curry Photon. I was like, okay, weird. They negate and destroy it. Let me make sure. Activate a field spell, summon Kewl, and I just do my normal combos. They actually ash me here. I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of big here. I'm like, that's kind of annoying. But I go field spell, special mix here, mix effect, add another Reco. Then I go into RS here, since they only have 2 cards in hand. I go Reco, pop, and then mix pop, and then I chain so it can be destroyed. So the chain resolves, I get to pop that, and I pop their thing. They pay another 2,000. They take no damage. I'm like, okay, they're at 2k. They have 1 card left. They're playing like 60 cards. I chain Mexi and standby. Just being toxic, right? They activate this. I'm like, okay, change the negate. I can't let you get that. Because it gets them into their combo. And they send the clerk. They draw 2 cards. I'm like, sure. I was like, I'm holding my Ghost Ogre for something, and they just scoop because they didn't draw anything. But that's it. The deck could play through some interruptions. But let's go to the next replay. Alrighty, guys, and here we are with the 3rd replay. So they're going first, and I'm going second. I'm like, okie dokie. I was like, let's see what we got here. They rotary. I was like, oh, I'm in a mirror match. I'm like, yay. So I'm in the mirror match. The mirror match is very interesting in my opinion. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of toxic, but it's just a lot of chain links that you have to keep track with. But I feel like the mirror is kind of fun. Like, I don't think it's like super terrible, but I don't think it's super fun. It's like 50-50. It depends. Like, if both players have reaction, it's fun. But right here, and they now see that I'm on where I'm in the mirror. So they're doing their combo. I'm like, okay, dokie. I have no hand traps, so I just have to purely rely on. I have to purely rely on fucking my engine, and they deter Rose Whip me, so I can only activate one spawn trap. So their end board is pretty good. They have Loudness of War, and they have remixed into a Synchro Summon, and I can only activate one spell. So I was like, okay. I'm just like, okay, my head could kind of break this board, even with one spell trap. And I know that they have their card in hand is the quick play, so I was like, okay, I know I can do this. Okay, look at my top decks is Bell and Bell. They banish it and they put it to the bottom, of course. So right here, I activate Clip because I have to get rid of either the remix or the Loudness word. But I have to do the Loudness word because I can't target anything else. So the Loudness word goes away here. So I go into Track Maker. So Chainlink 1 mix, Chainlink 2 mix, Chainlink 3 clip, and Track Maker to add. The chain, of course, to pop my Track Maker because I can't have nice things. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So Clip randomly banishes an RS, Mix pops the Loudness War, so I don't have to deal with that anymore. And I add my Kewl here, because I know they can't interact with this whatsoever, so Kewl would be really good here. And I top deck Perulia. I was just like, wait, does Perulia this? I was thinking, wait, Perulia does nothing here. Then I was like, oh wait, if they activate Clip, I could draw a card and all that good stuff. So I was like, actually, I'll just activate Perulia here. So I have the Rotary, so I can extra normal summon my Kewl, and then I'll go Kewl effect. I go into my Mix searches Recco. So they remix here, I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's like not the end of the world. They summon Recco. I go Recco effect, search, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And they go Clip, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change Synchro here. So this is my one spell of the turn until I get the Rose Whip out of here. So I go Q into Rotary into Track Maker here. And they go Clip here, and I draw a card. So I got a Call by the Grave, which is really nice. And they Synchro 4 here. I'm like, interesting. I'm like, that's fine. So let's see how they chain this. Oh, because they have no cards in hand, so I can only interact with the graveyard. And I can only interact with their top deck. And they get to rip a card, and they get to search a card, and they get to pop my Mix. I'm like, sure, dude, that's totally fine. So they pop my Mix, they banished my Baron. I was like, okay, I was never gonna go into Baron. They had Q, I'm like, okay. I look at the top deck. I banish the Desires, keep the Veiler on top since it won't do anything. And I put the Mix to the bottom. So I Synchro 6 here, because off of Track Maker, I added Cool Tune Mix. So they kind of misplayed. They should have done it on Resolution. They should have done on Resolution the quick play to Synchro into RS or something. Because now I just freely get to bounce something for free off the board, and I get to pop a card. And then if they try to respawn, I could destroy whatever they have. Or, yeah, I could destroy whatever they have. So I'll go into Loudness War, triggers my Track Maker and my Mix. Mix targets the Rose Whip because I need to play more spells, so I get rid of that. And since this was any card, I bounced their quick play, so they have no more interaction. So I know they have no more interaction. I can continue off from here. So I summon my Recco for the turn. I add my Mix. Then I go Cool Tune Synchro. Add the Field Spell. Add Synchro 5 into RS with the Clip and the Recco. Then Recco pops the Field Spell, and Clip banishes a random card. So right here, I'm just like stabilizing super hard, where they can't do much, and I know they're top deck. So I just know that they have the quick play and Q, so I was like, okay, so I just have to beat the Q somehow, and I just have to beat the quick play somehow. So I'm just like in the tank, so I know I'm summoning my mix. I go Cool Tune, mix, the field spell, to synchro. I go into the remix here, because I want to clear the bodies too, because I don't want them to have the bodies. So they can have synchros. So I was just like, okay, I just go into remix here with my Reco and mix, because I traded my loudness war to add a Reco, and then I just synchro from hand to go into my remix here. So I attack and attack. So they have no monsters, and then I have the call by still. So I was just like, okay, and I know their top deck. So their hand is Q, quick play, and Valor. So I was like, okay, I know their card in hand. So I was like, and I have called by. So I was like, okay, I call by the Q, and I quick play negate the Reco RS negate the quick play, and I was like, I should have this. So the Q, I'm like, okay, called by Grave. So I do misplay here, because I did not pay attention. I didn't take into account they had Typhon here, which was a big mistake. So what I could have done here is remix, effect, add back anything. Probably just like the mix and the clip. So I get to search off of mix. So I could search off of mix, and then I activate clip effect, special, and pop whatever they summon. I should have done that, but I did not. So I managed to queue here. I'm like, okay, they have Valor and quick play, that's it. So I was like, I should have this in the bag. Then I was like, oh wait, that's a Typhon. I was like, this is not good. So they bounce my RS. I'm like, sure, so let's just quick play and Valor. So I'll top deck Valor. So I'll go Battle Phase. Then right here, I know summon my Valor. Tribute my Valor. Summon Reco, add the Valor, and I'm like, sure, that's totally fine. I don't mind. So pass. I pass the turn here. So they draw for turn. They just summon in Q, so I'm like, okay, right here. I was like, I'm gonna use my remix in response so they could not do anything. I add my Valor to my hand, and I summon the mix, and I immediately synchro summon into my RS here. And then summon their Track Maker here. They go Track Maker 1. They go Track Maker 1, and then I go Reco 2 to pop their quick play that I know that they have. And mix to pop their Track Maker so I can do damage, and then I just chain the Valor. Because even if they chain the quick play, I negate it and I still win. So it's still checkmate here. So here, it gets popped. Reco pops the back row. And Track Maker gets destroyed and they scoop it up. So that was a fun mirror match in my opinion, for me at least. But we'll see you guys on the very last replay. And hopefully this video's not too long. Alrighty guys, and here we are with the last replay. Here I go first. I'm like, okay, my hand is my hand's solid. So I was like, first action. So if I have Q in hand, this card is like the best like starter of the deck. So I'd rather get a hand trap out of the way with overtake. So I'd rather like bait out a hand trap with this or something. So I activate overtake. They chain Maxi. I'm like, sure, I don't have to special summon here. So this is fine. So I reel my Reco. I add it to my hand so that I don't get a draw off of this. I normal summon my Reco. And the impermanent, I'm like, that's pretty good. I was like, that's pretty good, but like I clip already, so like I can play on their turn, so it's like whatever, so I just pass. They draw for turn. They activate field spell here. I'm like, okay, so it's man. So I was like, okay, I'll chain clip here. And then I synchro into RS because it stops whatever they have. And I was gonna pop the trap that they set, but I was like, wait, no, because then they get another plus off of the field spell. So I was like, okay, I'll just pop the field spell here with RS with Reco. So they set the serpent. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So I'll go Recco, pop, and then I just rip a random card from their extra deck, even though it doesn't fucking matter against this deck. So they summon man, I negate man, I negate it, so it's just like, okay, so, and then on my next turn I can negate the trap, so I don't care. I have Lord of Low, they get Drill Beam, I'm like, I'm so glad I have Bell here. I Bell, and they can't do anything about that. And they just scooped up. These replays were kind of short, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like, share the video. Hopefully this video is not too long. And I love you, my little droplets, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye! Love you guys! Mwah.